Good morning, folks. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about leveling up. That's all we're going to talk about here today. And there are going to be three categories. The first one is going to be opportunity, the second, effort, and then the last, fear. So let's get to opportunity. Now, as many of you have seen, or all of you have seen in a lot of the level up videos I made in the past, there are many opportunities here in this wonderful city, Columbus, Ohio, capital of Ohio. All right, very, 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 very good city, especially when it comes to foreign languages. I'll start with a less common language, something like Wolof or even Amharic. If I really wanted to get to a good level in Wolof, I could because of the opportunities. There are literally hundreds and thousands of Senegalese here in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, I can go to a certain part of the town and see these people walk around with the African clothing and everything. They're literally everywhere, and this is very important when it comes to learning a language and even leveling up. You can't level up if you don't have the people in your city. So what I like to do is find the opportunities. I like to search around. I like to refer to it as scouting. Okay, I'll check on the internet, drive around, find the places on the internet, and then go to that area to see if they closed, and then I'll make a plan to go there to level up. Okay, this is very important. I can't stress enough. You need to do this when you choose a particular language you're learning, unless you plan to go to the country shortly after studying the language. But if you don't have any plans on doing this, going to the country, then you may want to do this. Just check around and see what you can find, okay, before you start learning that language, because it's kind of difficult to maintain a language if you don't have these people to interact with. Sure, the internet is another tool. You can use the internet to practice your languages, but it gets even more serious once you start meeting these people face to face in real life. I mean, it gets even more. They invite you. You know, it gets crazy. So, and it's motivational. So you want to definitely look into the opportunities, the available opportunities in your city. Okay. So, effort. Now we all know it takes a lot of effort, even when you're starting on a language. It takes a lot of effort. It's not easy. At the beginning, it's going to be tough. But when it comes to leveling up, it's going to be even more tough due to the fact that you're not in the environment. Okay, you're not in the environment, and it's going to take a lot more effort to find these people to interact with. Okay, and for most people, it's one of their biggest fears, trying to engage in battle with a native speaker. I mean, not even in a native language, or not even in a foreign language, but in their native language, they're afraid to just speak with strangers in general. So this is something else that's holding people back. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that, the fear in the fear category. So the effort is going to be extreme. It's going to be intense. But that's what you have to do when you're in your own country. Some people, they like to put themselves in the target country because they feel that they don't have to. I mean, you still have to put effort in, but you won't have to put as much effort in as you would if you were in your own country. Okay, some people decide to go to, let's say, I don't know, Japan to teach English for a year or two. They feel that since they will be there in the country, surrounded by the people, the opportunities are there. There's no fear. They can even pull someone to the side, after work and try to practice their Japanese or whatever they want to do. So most people would put themselves in that situation. But if you don't have money to travel and you definitely want to get into a language, you don't have to do that. But the effort, just keep in mind, it's gonna be a little bit more. It's gonna take a little bit more effort than it would if you were in a target country. So fear. Now, this is probably the biggest thing that holds people back from not only language learning, but leveling up. Some people are, first of all, afraid to start learning a language because they have this thought that they won't be, that there isn't a possibility of success. They don't believe that they will be successful. They don't believe that they will see the end of the tunnel, with the end of the tunnel for that language that they're learning. You know, they're very afraid that this is going to happen. When it comes to speaking with people, they're afraid that they're not going to sound right. They're afraid that they're going to offend someone. I've been seeing a lot of comments lately of people saying that it's very rude to approach people and ask where they're from. And I think this, to me, I think this is like this can possibly be an excuse for people not to even try this out. You know, because think about it, it's quite obvious and it's common sense to not walk up to someone, you know, and just ask them straight out where they're from. Like, I would just walk up to you and I say, okay, hey, where are you from? That's it. I just ask you where are you from, nothing else. It's common sense to not do that unless you're intentionally trying to be rude and trying to offend someone. In my experiences, 99% of the time, people are happy. They're glad to tell you where they're from, but you have to do it right. And as you guys have seen in a lot of the little videos I made, I like to use English first. I don't just jump into the language, okay? I like to use English to try to get the atmosphere comfortable. I want to get people comfortable first, okay? See where they are, see how they are feeling for the day. See if they're in a good mood. Then I'll make a smooth transition over to asking them where they're from. And 99% of the time, people don't mind. They'll tell you. That 1%, you're going to have people like this. Some people just don't want to talk to you. They're going to be, I don't know, having a bad day. And then, you know, that's part of life. That's what happens. But like I said, in general, people are nice and they don't care. So there's really no reason to be afraid. Well, you know, it's easy for me to say you don't be afraid because everyone is different. But I could just talk, you know, speak from my experiences. That's what I've experienced, and it keeps working. You guys have seen that and are seeing that and will continue to see in the level of videos on my channel. So that's pretty much it. If you're just starting on a language, you have no experience studying language seriously, like I said before, look into the opportunities. That's the main thing here. You want to find these people and see if they're in your city so you can practice the language with them, okay? And I'll give you a list of some common languages if you're here in the States. I can't speak for any other place. I mean, I've been to Canada. I know it's a very diverse place there as well, but I'm gonna just speak from here in the States. If you're looking into learning a language but you're not sure what language to learn, definitely look into Chinese. Okay, look into Chinese Mandarin, because there are so many Chinese people. You can be literally out in the boondocks, the country somewhere, and find a Chinese restaurant. And I'm sure you guys know. You be like, wow, there's a Chinese restaurant out here. The Chinese people are everywhere. So it's a very useful language to learn. Chinese Mandarin and even Cantonese. Even Cantonese, believe it or not. Okay. Spanish, obviously. Spanish is the second language here in the U.S. So definitely look into that. Korean, there are a lot of Koreans in the States. There are Japanese. There are quite a few Japanese people here, but I want to say it depends it depends on where you are. I'm in the capital of Ohio, where there's many foreigners, and it's hard to find Japanese people. That's why in my level up videos, I don't make very many of them, because it's not easy to find them. And when I do go to Japanese restaurants, they're not Japanese. They end up being Korean. So it's not easy to find Japanese people here in Columbus. They're here, but it's not like Chinese or Korean, or it's not the same. The opportunities aren't as vast as those. So Korean, Chinese Mandarin, Cantonese. If you want to go down to some Southeast Asian languages, look into Vietnamese, look into Tagalog or Filipino, look into Thai, Laos. What other ones down there? Hindi. Definitely look into those, especially Hindi. That's just like Chinese too. I should have mentioned that first, but we're in Southeast Asia now. German, French. Well, at least here in my city, French I can get French in like it's crazy here. There are a lot of natives here, particularly the Africans. They all speak French natively. So I can get French in here. like I said, I can't really like, because if you're there are certain states that some people told me, oh, I can't find, they told me that they couldn't find certain people there. So the best thing to do is just look at the population and see, ask around, you check on the internet and see what the population is of those people. Let's say if you're want to learn Korean, see what the population is of the Korean people in your city. So that's pretty much it. I want to wrap this video up. Just want to talk a little bit about leveling up. Like I said, it's easy for me to say that it's easy to do because I've been doing it for a long time. So the best thing I can say is just get out there and just try and just try to do what I do in my videos. Like just use your native language. It could be English or wherever country. If you're in Denmark, use Danish. Just try to soften it up a little bit. Don't just get crazy and jump into the language. This is what I like to do. Okay, this is just my strategy. So, all right, that is it. If you have any other questions concerning leveling up or whatever, let me know in the comment area. Thanks for viewing, and talk to you guys shortly.